Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Today we are looking at people who live with other people and are unsatisfied by those people. Yes, that is correct. Today we are observing bad roommates. Also, I'm wearing shorts today. If you see some skin, some surprise skin with a surprise microphone, then, just don't look if you can't handle it. Don't look if you can't handle some thigh today. Okay, today's a good little thigh day, huh? Roommate is in living room 24/7. For context, I've lived in my New York City apartment for 3 years. It's a 4-bedroom with a pretty small living room. And I live with my best friend and 2 other roommates. Wow, you got a 4-bedroom? Each of you get your own room in New York? That's cool, right? That's rare, I feel like. We are all 24 and all of us have full-time jobs except for a roommate I'll call Emma. You know it's gonna be good when they give him a fake name. You know it's good when they give him a nickname. Emma moved in almost 2 years ago and told us she had a job as a tattoo artist. This was true for about a month, and then it completely stopped. Since then, Emma has had no job, no prospects, and she never, and I mean never, leaves the house other than to grocery shop. From what she has told me, she uses friends' food stamps, unemployment money that her parents send to get by, but she has not left this apartment in 2 years. Hey, Emma, you gotta work on that. This is a surefire way to condition yourself to be agoraphobic. This is coming from somebody who had a very high generalized anxiety disorder to the point of I didn't want to leave my house at all. I had pretty borderline agoraphobia there for a minute. And this is a great way to do it. Hey, you at home, it's something to think about. If you haven't left the house in a while, just do it. Just do it preventatively, because eventually your brain gets real comfortable and you're in a rut and you can't leave. It's a habit. Since I was in this apartment first with my friend, we have furnished the entire thing. Every piece of furniture, decoration, entertainment thing in the living room belongs to us, but we are never able to be out there because Emma parks herself on the couch, fully laying down at 8 a.m. to watch TV on her laptop and does not leave until maybe 1 a.m. Sometimes she sleeps there. Does she have her own room? If she has her own room, y'all need to get together and be like, hey, this is a communal space. This is a communal space. You're going to have to make room for us. All right, scoot your butt. We're sitting out here. It's a living room. Haha, we all are living here. You like that couch that I bought? Huh? You like that? I don't know. Emma needs some help. She needs a hand. It's not your responsibility to improve her mood or hey girl, let's go out or whatever. Also, because that can cost money and stuff like that. But maybe going for a walk, encouraging her to get up and get out. I think she needs a hard reset, on life. Just, hey, do something. She's dirty. She covers the coffee table, also mine, in her nasty, greasy Tupperwares all day long, so there's no room for anything else. And the times where I have to pop into the kitchen after work to feed myself, she acts like I'm bothering her. Our other roommate who moved in at the same time as Emma is irritated by this as well. Does she not have her own room? There's a theory that I have right now is that if you open the door to her room, it is an absolute depresso messo, just a pigsty, things piling up. That's my guess. We feel she has confined us to all of our rooms, and it is truly irritating that she is always there, lying down and taking up as much space as possible. I've seen similar posts on here claiming the person in my position is actually which I totally don't need to hear because I've spent 2 years nagging her to be cleaner, cleaning up after her, and putting together the living room I am completely unable to use. Can anyone who has dealt with this give advice on how I can tell her she's being very selfish without ruffling any feathers? Feathers are going to be ruffled. She's putting herself in a position to where she's going to ruffle her own feathers. There's nothing you can do. There is discomfort that is going to happen because she's not able to see herself. She's not even able to perceive herself and how she's, this annoying, noisome individual. And it's probably coming from a place of borderline depression. Yeah, I think the roommates got to come together and be like, yo, are you okay? I think just have a meeting. Start at the level of, hey, are you okay? Can we talk about this as a group? We all would like to talk to you and just kind of figure out what's going on here. How would an honest conversation work here? It probably wouldn't be great, but it would be a step in the right direction. Top comment here. Maybe everyone should have a conversation with her about her behavior. Sometimes it's best to explain someone's behavior so that they understand it's a problem. If she doesn't change after that, then maybe she has to find someplace else to live. If it's making everyone else uncomfortable, she should understand that. Maybe it's best she moves out. Or maybe she will be willing to change. And by the sounds of her being indoors for 2 years straight and not wanting to get out of the house, that sounds like some sort of depression on her end. Bingo, bango, bungo. That's, why did I sing to that? Why did I sing to depression. That's, well, okay. All right. Look, y'all, it's 10 a.m. I'm not normally up and recording this early, but I got a lot of stuff to do today, okay? So I'm going to misfire a lot. Like, watch this. Both of you need to let her know this isn't acceptable. She has a room just like the rest of you. This is the thing. She has her own room, but I bet her room is a mess. I'd bet money on it. I bet there's clothes everywhere, all over the bed. She doesn't want to clean it up. She's overwhelmed. And so she goes into her room, she gets changed in her room, sifts through her piles of clothes, finds the least dirty pair of clothes, puts that on, and then she goes out to the living room. That's what I bet is the case. Each roommate needs to have a couple of friends over and use the space on a regular basis. All roommates get to use the common spaces and are responsible for keeping it clean. Ultimately, find another roommate and give her notice, letting her know you're renewing with someone else. I got a roomie that's pulling this BS right now. She makes more money than anyone else in the house, but slept on an air mattress until it popped. Okay. Now, because she's too much of a wino to replace her bed and too entitled to sleep on the floor of her own room, like I did when I first moved here, the living room is her domain. TV is basically her only hobby. She says I scare the shit out of her every time I come home from work. Good. That sucks, man. You got people who don't even realize that they have a problem, or maybe they do, but they don't know how to start. Yeah, this is just like a depression, but with roommates. Like a public depression. I don't know. Again, I'm really thinking that these rooms are disgusting. They just don't want to be in there because it makes you that overwhelming feeling of dread you have when you have a pile of laundry on the bed, but you have to fold it. Yeah, multiply that by 2 years, and that's what you got going on here. Let me think of a comedic angle here to make this a little bit lighter. What you could do is you could just get somebody from IKEA, get movers in there, be like, hey, we're replacing the couch. And so just pick her up on the couch and take her to Sweden. She'd have fun over there. Sweden's nice. Or so I've heard. Next story, nightmare dog. All right, we have a little video here. Let's listen up. Let's see. I work night shift, so when I get home, this is what I have to listen to when trying to sleep. Okay, so in the morning. Got it. He does this every time my roommate is not home. He's also growled and shown his teeth at me. My roommate's dog a few months ago passed away from cancer. Within a week, she was already looking at shelters. She didn't ask, but told me she was getting a new dog. I said no, because we already have 3 cats at home, and my cat hates dogs. Yep. She went on this big rant about how she needs him for anxiety. Also, that because I moved in with her when she had a dog, the expectation is she would always have a dog. I don't know. I think it is, it should be a group decision to bring in a new dog, but if she already had a dog, and the expectation kind of is that she has there is a dog in there. I know, but y'all will probably disagree with me a little bit here, but willy-nilly getting a new dog, like that could be a group decision. I feel like that should be a group decision, but if she already had a dog, I don't know. And you got 3 cats in there. That's a lot of cats, man. When people say not to live with your friends, listen to them. It's ruined our 15-year friendship. The fact that this dog is barking constantly when you get home from your night shift and you're trying to sleep, that sucks. I mean, sure, there's like shorter term solutions where you get earplugs or like a sleep mask and try to sound treat your door, like put something under it to where it's not as loud, but the neighbor's got to deal with that dog. There's this device on TikTok that I'm thinking of. It's like a whistle, not a whistle. It's like some kind of a button you push. I think it's a high frequency that stops dogs from barking. I would look into that. Let's see. It's this thing. You push a button and it like blows a certain frequency or something. Ultrasonic dog trainer. Yeah. I would start there. But then again, you got to talk to your roommate about it. Be like, hey, how can we fix this? I need to sleep. Your dog is not allowing me to sleep and do my job that contributes to me paying rent. What I'm saying is, rent is in danger of being paid because of your dog. And this is a decision that you made for your anxiety, but your dog is driving up my anxiety and my sleeplessness and my insomnia. Goober, lack of consideration. Awful. Funny how people with anxiety always wind up with dogs that have more anxiety than them. It's just a disgusting overuse of the word. I doubt many people who say they have anxiety actually have it. They just want an excuse to get what they want. These are their opinions. These are not mine. I don't. Some owners literally tune this out. I don't know how, but they can. Rude. Yeah, dude, if you've lived with a dog for a long time and you just hear barking, it just sounds like white noise, background noise. Not me. If I'm in a house or a place with a high-pitched yappy dog, luckily that's not a high-pitched dog. It's still loud, but like high pitched, you know what I'm saying? Like, ow, 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 like up there, that pings off your forehead like a missile. It's just like a ow, you know? Dogs that bark really high pitched like that, it's borderline painful. The op says, some of y'all are acting like I'm abusing this dog. I do give him treats and pets. I don't act like a bitch to a dog who is here because of someone else's selfishness. He has to stay in a room while I'm trying to sleep because he gets into the trash when he's left alone. Oh, he's barking because he's locked in a room. What kind of a dog is it? Is it a Malinois? I wonder what breed of dog this is. Listen to this bark. Belgian Malinois are extremely high energy, anxious dogs. Listen to this bark. Listen to this. It's pretty similar. Now, these dogs, Belgian Malinois, are like using, police training and stuff like that. They're like way more high strung than German Shepherds are, and they need a job, and they can be extremely anxious. And so what if she got a dog at a shelter that is a Belgian Malinois, and the reason why it got dropped off was because it was so high energy? I think I just cracked the code. Look, it's sad that her dog passed away from cancer, and I get replacing that dog, but picking a high-strung dog, like hypothetically a Belgian Malinois, not a good move. That's crazy that I pulled that out of thin air. Isn't that nuts? Why? Because I've been looking at a lot of Belgian Malinois content on TikTok. I used to memorize dog breeds like Pokemon when I was a kid. I really did. I could look at any dog and 99% of the time tell you the exact breed. Just fun fact about me. Move out, ask her to train the dog, send her the video of the nonstop barking, and last resort is buying Groovy Pets ultrasonic bark deterrent dog training device orange. Yeah, this is the thing I was talking about. Oh, she doesn't care at all about the dog keeping me awake. This has been going on for months, and she said she would get him anxiety meds after the first week. Never happened. Unless it directly affects her, she doesn't care. Also, I'm trying to move out, but I'm not financially ready yet. She also knows that I have chronic insomnia and already struggle to sleep. Well, you're being tortured in a way. This is sleep torture. Yeah, something's got to move. That's why I have cats. I have 2 cats because dogs are loud and they would interrupt me recording. I want to get a dog. And you know what kind of dog I want? A poodle. I want a poodle. Why? Because they are beautiful, elegant. Oh, let me tell you the story. This is my poodle story, okay? When I was in college, my girlfriend at the time was modeling for this thing, and I go over to this photographer's house, and this photographer had a black, beautifully manicured poodle with like a pink collar with little spikes on it, and it was perfectly groomed, perfectly manicured. Had the little poodle, hat, and the fluffy ears and the thing. And the way that this poodle walked out, and there was a few of us in the lobby area, in like the living room area, and this black poodle just looked out, scanned the room, and laid down. And when it laid down, it very slowly folded one paw over the other paw. And it was like, oh, I see now. If you were in ancient Egypt, you would be worshipped. Because this dog is sentient. This dog is like, I suppose I'll sit here with you plebeians. Look like it was ready for its photo shoot next. It was such a strange experience where I looked at this animal and I was like, you live here. You open up the fridge. You ask your roommate, is this milk expired or not? You probably take selfies at restaurants, this dog. I was trying to figure out what the hell. Like, this dog was just the coolness factor, the motion, like a ballerina, kind of. You know what I mean? You know how ballerinas just walk around with perfect posture and they seemingly float? That's what this dog did. And I was like, that thing is cool. I like that. Moving on. What can I even do? I'm starting to be scared for my own safety. And then we have a picture of, I think it's glass, like a beer bottle. Yeah, beer bottle, okay. Let's see what we got here. That is bad. Oh, it's from the TV. Okay, so a TV was torn down, and this is like, yeah, that's okay. Recently, I've been living with 2 roommates. We have about 2 months on our lease left, but one of my friends/roommates moved out early to get out of the hellhole that is my apartment. It's dark. Upstairs neighbors are incredibly loud all day, and more. Either way, it was understandable that he wanted to get out early and is even continuing to pay our lease, as we have a 1-year lease, while paying for his new place too. The other roommate has since fallen out with us both. In turn, he is going off the deep end, and at first I tried to help and was worried, but at some point I couldn't help someone who repeatedly refused to help themselves. Due to multiple factors, including ones that cause him not to be sober, he is seemingly going off the deep end. Okay, so meaning he's drinking now. Okay. This past week, I came home to the apartment absolutely trashed with broken glass and alcohol all over the place. I told him to clean it up and got a rude response back, not going into complete details. Well, I mean, whatever it is, got to make him clean it up. This, this is why you go to the gym. Okay, you go to the gym, you do push-ups, you work out just so that way you can have a physical presence when you say, hey, clean that up. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a good take, by the way. What I just said, not a good take. I acknowledge that. I ended up cleaning it up because I don't want to live in a shithole. Finally, today I came home from my job to see the place completely destroyed again because he had some sort of episode. Keep in mind, I just spent a night cleaning everything with my mother. There is so much I could explain. Well, then why don't you? To get to the point, I called the police as I was being told to by multiple people close to me. After calling, they left, and he proceeded to yell through the closed doors, "The cops? Really? What do you mean closed doors?" I responded, "Yeah, when you absolutely destroy our place and can't take accountability." And the response I got is what had me worried. He said, "Oh, don't worry, I got something for you, bro," and closed his door. I am never one to call the police due to various reasons, but at this point, I don't know what else to do. Any advice would be appreciated. Yeah, no, you're living with a nightmare. You're living with an absolute nightmare. Get out of there. Move back in with your mom for a second. You got 2 months left on the lease? Send pictures to the landlord. You cannot have somebody being a violent nuisance in your apartment. You got to be like, hey, man, this guy's got to get off the lease. I'm going to go move in with my mom. Can you get rid of this guy? Because he's being a nightmare. I don't know how to do that. Like, he must be breaking some terms of the lease. Unacceptable. This is crazy. Good Lord. Yeah, and that's a threat. Oh, don't worry. I got something for you, bro. That's a threat. That's crazy. And if he's having episodes and stuff, there's something going on. It could be anything. I'm not going to list what it could be, but it's just, this is not somebody who's safe, and it's not somebody who's willing to change. You got to go. This is not for you to take care of. Get out of there. Safety first. This isn't a cute little post. Get the hell out. Let's see what the comments are. To be honest, get out as soon as you can. If you can, that is not a safe living environment. This is exactly how I feel. Can you stay with your mom? This is not worth the stress. Now he's mad at you specifically, and he's been drinking often. Recipe for disaster. You'll be calling the cops again if you don't leave. Op responded, he said, I don't think it's a possibility, but I could move in with my dad for the time being. Then do that! My job is on the other side of the town, closer to my apartment, though. Don't care. Don't care. Drive a little further. Don't care. Do not care. And I am worried about my item as well. Your items, like your objects. Although I know I should be more worried about myself. I have cameras in my room as well. Oh, good. Yeah, cameras like security cameras, or cameras like nice cameras that are expensive that you don't want ruined. What are you saying? Stay with dad until the lease is up, but also do make the landlord aware of the situation. If your items are destroyed, that's okay. You're alive. However, I do believe cops will come stand guard while you get your stuff out if you call and explain it to them. Yeah, maybe. The police can file this as domestic violence, which will allow you to break the lease. Start looking for somewhere else to live and make sure your door is locked or blocked if you're sleeping there. Op responded, they said, I changed the door handle myself to have a key lock, but noted I am looking on how to get out safely and without breaking the lease in a bad way. Yeah, I think you're totally well within your rights to send that to the landlord. Be like, hey, I'm leaving. My roommate is a nightmare. Or can you kick him out? Get him out of there, baby. Ugh, awful. I hate angry people, dude. I really do. Just belligerent, like, ragers. Like, come on, grow up. Put your big boy pants on. What, you had to rip the TV off the wall? Why? Did you lose your game of FIFA? Huh? You didn't get top 10 in Fortnite? What's your problem? Moving on. Roommate forced us all into an impossible financial situation, now refusing to pay their share. This whole saga started when my partner and I asked to have a house meeting with our roommate. She'd been going back on 2 agreements that were made when we moved in. 1, notify the housemates when you will have a guest using the shared space. And 2, clean up after your pets. Seems reasonable. My roommate has 2 cats, which is a lot, and was going 5+ days at a time without scooping their litter boxes. Okay, for those of you who don't know, 2 cats with a litter box, that's something you gotta scoop every single day. Every day. Because cats pee and they poo. Every day. Maybe even twice a day if you want it. Cheat code, if you have an open window somewhere, if you have a corner with a window, put the litter box over there, put a litter mat down, and crack open the window, if possible. This was resulting in a variety of issues, namely a rancid smell throughout the house. I hate that, dude. And their cats peeing on everything except for their box. I hate that. That's ugh. Dude, cat pee is the hardest smell to get. It's so hard to get out. It's borderline impossible. Like, you'll have to replace stuff. It's bad. I have a couch and a pair of boots that are irreparably ruined. All right. The guests issue was simple. We have always all notified each other when we will have guests in the shared spaces. This was made clear at move-in. My roommate started dating someone new and started having them over nearly 24/7. The new partner was eating, sleeping, and working here remotely. Ooh, working remotely out of your apartment? Hey, I don't like this. My partner and I called a house meeting. Our roommate has been a good friend, so we were as gentle as possible. Roommate started crying within about 5 minutes of us asking just for a quick notification when their partner would be using the shared spaces, saying they didn't feel welcome. We were barely able to get to the part about the cat smell before the roommate decided the conversation was over and left. Congrats, you have no conflict skills at all. You have no way to take criticism. People who can't take criticism like this blow my mind. Stop over-personalizing stuff. It doesn't have to be super personal. Detach for a second. Try to look at the situation like you're a character in a video game. Zoom out, look down at yourselves and go, oh, I guess that is inconvenient for them. Detach. It's very commonplace nowadays to be like, live in the present, live life, live to the fullest. I understand that. That's great. That's a wonderful meditative practice. I totally get that. But at times, when you are receiving criticism, zoom out. If you struggle with receiving criticism of any kind, zoom out. Literally, picture yourself from above like a map on a video game. Your character is here like a sim, and these other two characters are there, and they're trying to tell you, hey, your cat's PLI. And then you got to look at that and go, oh yeah, I guess I should fix that. Yeah, no, that is bad that this character is doing all of this stuff. When these two are, okay, yeah, these bars are going high and low, and their disgusting meter is like through the roof. I suppose I should fix that as a roommate. Roommate decided they didn't feel welcome in the house anymore. After multiple attempts at a conversation, they started moving out without letting us know. Oh, sounds like a real friend, like a real adult. They have been since coming to retrieve their items a couple of times per week. What, like a break? Dude. They then decided they are going to break our lease and move out. My partner and I cannot afford to cover their share of the rent for very long, so we are also forced to move out. We are lucky to have very kind landlords who allowed us to break our lease without any financial repercussion. That's wow. You hit the jackpot. Our lease now ends at the end of June, but here's the problem. Our roommate is now refusing to pay their share of the rent, claiming they cannot afford the expense of paying two separate places, this one and their new one. They are still on the lease agreement, as we all are, until the end of June. Talk to the landlord. They're breaking the law. They're not paying their rent. Or I don't know if they're breaking the law. They're breaking the agreement. The way I see it, they shouldn't have caused all of these issues if they were not prepared to take the financial hit. Yes, correct. The outright refusal to have a conversation and squash personal issues is baffling. We were all great friends before this. I have learned my lesson and will never again move in with a friend. Seems like that is the theme of today. You think you're friends with somebody, and then you gotta tack on a cohabitating situation with that. You gotta tack on financial element to that. Sometimes you should, and a lot of times you should not be living with your friends. A lot of times, there are clues. Look for the clues. Look for the clues in the past. There will be little clues here and there that tell you, oh, maybe I shouldn't live with this person. For example, you ever been in their house? What's their room look like? What does their living room look like? How do they behave when you walk in? They're like, oh, sorry, this place is a mess, and it's clean. Pretty good sign. Is there any legal recourse we can take to get these last rent payments out of our roommate? We have a long paper trail of their payments and of their emails in which they refuse to pay. Top comment here says, small claims. You are still on the lease here and responsible for your share. If you do not follow through with your obligations, we will pursue legal options. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. I don't care what y'all do. Put it on credit. Do what you can, get a loan from a bank. You're paying your lease. Because you are incapable of handling your own stuff does not put me in an emergency situation. I'm not covering your ass because you cannot handle one critique. Make sure you have their new address so you can take it to small claims. Wreck her in small claims. It is cut and dry, and you don't even need a lawyer. She has signed and agreed to pay and is obligated to pay until June, period. Every single person is saying small claims court. Yep. Yeah, dude, that sucks, man. Petty people, I don't like them either. I don't like petty people. I don't like angry people. Just be open to feedback. Be open to criticism. Don't emotionally grapple with feedback on how your avatar is presenting itself or carrying itself in the world. Again, we all got spirits and wants and needs, and in a way, and in essence, we all have our inside selves where we just want to be liked. We want to have connection with others, or we want to feel comfortable. We want to, we all have these things. And then our external side of ourselves don't always align with how we feel on the inside. And so sometimes you got to separate from yourself look down and go, oh, my avatar is not doing what it should be doing. My avatar out there in the world is not doing the way that I internally want to represent myself. So let me try to fix that. Let me try to change that. This person says suggest a payment plan if you're not doing small claims, which is, interesting workaround if you want to try to preserve any sense of friendship. Sure, but you don't owe them that. They're being incredibly short-sighted and naive. Aggressively hypocritical roommate. Chore chart coming soon. Until then, if I find your dirty dishes in the sink or trash in the common place, I'm dumping it in your bed. Happy cleaning. And then, boom. She left the whiteboard message at the beginning of the quarter after finding one plate in the sink that had been there for about 2 hours. The second pick is 100% her dishes and have been there for the last 6 weeks. There's mold growing in our sink. Every time we talk to her about it, she promises to wash it over the weekend. It has been 5 weekends. My other roommates won't let me follow through on her policy of putting her dishes in her bed because they say it is too aggressive. I mean, first of all, love this backsplash. This is a big sink too, isn't it? It's a big old sink. All these fit in there? Dang. Or is that counter space? Either way, figure that out. Be like, hey, you're not leaving, or you have to figure out this dish out. No. Now. Somebody's got to break here. You might have to make her tear up or cry a little bit in terms of like just being aggressive with it. She doesn't want to break her little comfort bubble. No, now. I'm saying now. You're doing this now. This is a shared space. This is enough. Do it now. You gotta break something. Not literally, not physically break something, but you got to break that comfort shell, that bubble of like, she doesn't want to do something that's going to require, 30 minutes? 30 minutes of hand washing or running the dishwasher? Like, dude, dishes don't take that long. Put on music. It's like, I don't care. You're doing this. You gotta be a little bit assertive with your boundaries, because this is unacceptable. What do you mean let you? Just do it. Put them all in a big box and put it on her bed. If it's been like this for 6 weeks, where have you been washing your dishes? That sink is completely unusable, and that would be so gross to cook around rotting food. That is a good question. How have you been cleaning your own dishes? Are you using paper plates and stuff? And you're saying quarter, which makes me think that you're in a college situation, so I don't know. She's the one who chose to threaten it. She should expect the same consequences when you've been more than lenient. I do think it'll make things worse, but at this point, I'm not sure what you have to lose. You're already without a sink. Put her dishes on her bed and rest the whiteboard right on top. Yeah, I think at some point, you got to speak their language. This person is being extremely inconsiderate. It's okay to make some people mad. It's okay to make some people in some situations upset with you or mad at you if what they are doing is causing communal distress. It's fine. You know what, folks? We're gonna do something here because there's been a lot of stressful situations lately, and maybe this could be triggering for some of us. So we're gonna take a look at eye bleach. This guy says had an awesome binturong encounter at Cow Q Open Zoo. What on earth is that? Whoa. That looks like a fake animal. Or like a saber, just like a giant, or sable. Wow, what a cool animal. All right, let's go for another. Oh yeah, look at that cat. Oh yeah. Oh, look at it. Oh, it's a kitty. Oh, I want to pet the kitty's nose. I want to poop on that. Yes. Give me that cat breath. Give me that smelly tuna. Anyway, hey, you know what? If you stuck with me this far and you have a roommate that is not a horrible situation, I want you to tell them, hey, you are what I would call a good roommate. Thank you for being that. I'll see you on the next video outro.